Hello, everyone. Hello from Northwood. I actually was given permission to come in today, which is exciting. Um, I walked into my classroom and it's totally empty, and it's Monday. And I'm going to be honest, it was hard. It's harder than I thought. Um, I definitely had a wave of sadness as I walked in, and I just wanted to let you know that I am that not just me, but your teachers are also struggling with what distance learning is, what it looks like, what it isn't, as well as what this means for teachers. And I just wanted to say hello, that I truly miss you guys, and I still want to be here for every single person. So please email me, whether it's about an update of something that's positive in your life. Seriously, could use some good news. And I would like to shout out to Garrett for his NTV segment on Good News. It was really, really nice. I enjoyed watching it. If you haven't seen NTV yet, you should definitely go try it and find the link. If you don't know, email me and I'll send it to you. Anyways, sorry, Garrett, if that made you feel uncomfortable. Anyways, so today we are really delving into the speech projects. Now, I'm going to tell you where my struggle lies, where all of the teacher struggle lies, honestly. There was a solid portion of you that turned in such diligent, thorough, detailed, exceptional work, and that was amazing. And then there were some of you who didn't do anything. Now, for those of you that didn't do anything, I understand. I really do. It's a stressful time. It's an overwhelming time. Maybe there were days that you did not want to get out of bed. Maybe there were days where you really felt like you were grieving. Maybe there were days that you watched too much Netflix and forgot to do anything. The teachers are giving those students that time, that 2 weeks to adjust to distance learning. But now it's Monday, April 6th, and we're changing gears. Things are no longer optional. Things are due and mandatory. And that means that they are graded. Now, if you are seriously a person that is really struggling with distance learning, whether that be your motivation, whether that be you're extremely confused with what is going on, I still want to be here for you. Just talk to your teachers. When we don't hear anything from you, it's hard not to make certain assumptions, right? If you are somebody who is potentially struggling, coping with this change, my recommendation to you is not to ghost us. Do not just say nothing. At least talk to us. Hey, today was a really rough day. I was really struggling staying focused and on task, and therefore I wasn't able to do blah, 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 blah. At least talk to us, okay? Do not ignore any of your teachers. Let us know what's going on. So in that vein, you guys, I wanted to let you know what is coming up for the next 3 or so weeks. So I'm hoping you already know that Northwood has changed its schedule. Your classes are broken down right now into Monday, Wednesday classes and Tuesday, Thursday classes. That's kind of the way that college style is organized. So yay, you're getting a taste of that. Your history classes are going to be Monday, Wednesday. Your English classes are Tuesday, Thursday, okay? So on Mondays and Wednesdays by 10 a.m. or so, I'm going to be posting the assignment. And you should be focusing on your Monday classes and Wednesday classes on those days. However, if something is assigned on Monday, it'll most likely be due on Tuesday. If something is assigned on Tuesday, it'll be due on Wednesday. If something is assigned on Wednesday, it'll be due by Thursday. You see how that kind of works? Okay. I know it's probably like a mental switch. So I recommend you try and write down your schedule and see what it looks like. I can even show you what my schedule looks like in a second. So today is a pretty basic day. It's really just dipping our toe back into the speech project. I'm going to re-go over some of the expectations because I'm getting a lot of emails about people who are confused about what they need to do. So I want to make sure that I get all of those questions answered. And your goal today, that is mandatory, that you will receive points on, is to complete this Google form by April 7th at 8 p.m. All right. So you're going to put your name, you're going to put your period, you're going to tell me your speech topic with your argument, meaning you cannot just write racism. You can't do that. Be specific. If you want to change your speech topic, now would be the time. Right now in the speech topic. Okay. And write it up. If I have problems with it, I will contact you. One of the things that Mrs. Guy and I, Miss Bessling, have been noticing is that a lot of you guys took those speech topics and ran with it. Like, racism needs to end. That is way too vague, okay? The more specific you are, the better. And I mean it. And then, because I miss you all so much, I want you to tell me one peak about your spring break and one pit about your spring break. What was something that was a real big bummer for you? I'll tell you mine. My peak was that I made homemade cinnamon rolls. I mean, like from start to finish. It took me a full day. I kneaded dough for the first time. I used yeast for the first time. It was very exciting. And they were delicious. I actually made a video about the steps and sent it to my family because that's a new hobby I'm doing, is I'm making these videos to awkwardly send to my family. Anyways, my pit, however, was that for spring break, I was supposed to go to London and visit my friend Emily. And I was really looking forward to seeing her. However, obviously, and rightfully so, my trip was canceled. So I'm hoping to be able to visit her in August. But that was pretty hard. I'd wake up some mornings feeling really restless and bored, and my mind would immediately jump to like, oh man, like if I was in England right now, what would I be doing? What would I be traveling to? And I quickly had to stop that because it was bringing me down to weird places. Anyways, the next box is, do you have any questions about distance learning in general? Maybe you're confused about what your schedule is. Maybe you're like, and I mean in general, it doesn't just have to be about my class. Okay. If you don't have a question, you can just put no or NA. All right. And then anything else, random news, question, a story. Like I said, I really miss interacting with you guys. So anything here would be really nice. And then lastly, what I would like you to do is answer on a scale of 1 through 4. How much do you understand the requirements of the speech as well as the speech schedule? And I'm about to show you that. So when you're done with this video, I want you to fill that in. All right, so here is the schedule. I'm sure Mrs. Guy has also put it up, or Miss Bessling has also put it up on hers. And I kind of highlighted my days so that you know. By the way, this is a complete like H10 schedule. So all of H10 is adhering to this schedule right now, just in case you were wondering. Anyways, so it'll actually show you what every single day you're supposed to work on. Today is just your check-in. Hey, how's it going? Watch this video. Check out the Google form. And then tomorrow, April 7th, you are going to talk to Mrs. Guy about what makes, or Miss Bessling, excuse me. It's because I have 2 classes with Mrs. Guy and 1 with Miss Bessling, so I get a little foggy. What makes a good speech? So you're going to take a look at examples of good speeches and examples of speeches that don't make the cut. And I even have some student examples that I will eventually be posting. And you're going to work on your research. And then you're going to come back to me on Wednesday, and I'm going to specifically teach about counter arguments. What makes a good counter argument? What makes a struggling counter argument? And by then you're going to be working on your outline. Now, a lot of you have already started your outline, so yay. For those of you who are already on this outline process, you're just editing it, right? So like after I've had my lesson, you are going to make edits about it. And then I'm going to have an exit ticket about counter arguments on this day that you will submit. You are going to have conferences, and you are all turning in your thesis statements to Mrs. Guy or Miss Bessling by April 10th, all right? And then we come in the following week. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but you'll notice that there are certain drafts that are going to be due next week. Next week is just a writing day. And then lastly, the final week is your presentations, all right? So are your presentations, excuse me. We have not fully decided what those presentations will look like. I am personally leaning towards just submitting a Flipgrid. However, I know some teachers are talking about doing an optional in like digital speech. So getting a small group like, hey, how many of you are available at 1:00 on Wednesday? And then like getting a small group, and then that small group actually presenting the poster to each other in a Zoom meeting or Google Hang, whatever. We will keep you posted, but there will be some kind of presentation part. You will need to record yourself or join in one of those meetings. Now, the other thing that I wanted to post is I'm getting a lot of questions about office hours. So I think it would be better if you thought of office hours like tutorial, okay? Instead of having a block of tutorial like we did when school was in session, each subject is having an hour of tutorial time. So for H10, my tutorial for you guys is Tuesdays from 1 to 2, I believe. Let me actually make sure that is correct. You do not have to come. It is not mandatory. However, what it is a time like tutorial for you to just come in, ask questions, get feedback. So I'm not going to have an agenda. I'm literally going to set up a Zoom conference or a Google Meet, and I'm just going to wait. And if you have questions, ask your questions. If you want to say hi, come and say hi, because a lot of you do that in tutorial anyways. If you come and you don't have questions, maybe we'll play Pictionary. Maybe we'll play Hangman, all right? I've been playing a lot of those things. My family and I have started a digital trivia, so maybe we'll do that, all right? Again, it's not mandatory. It's just tutorial. So if you want to come see me, come and see me. And I was right. It's on Tuesday from 1 to 2. Every Tuesday from here on out, 1 to 2. Not mandatory. There you go. Anyways, let's go back to this. So today, let's do this. All right. I am going to post this PowerPoint online as well, and it kind of goes through every day's expectations, all right? The idea is to try and provide you guys with some normalcy as well as some structure. So let's take a look. Again, today you're choosing your topic. Most of you have already chosen your topic, so I'm not really worried about that. Your homework today is to complete the survey that I just showed you. It's really basic day, you guys. Now, the instructions for this speech are already online, but there are a couple of things that I really wanted to go over again. Remember that this is a 3 to 5 minute speech, okay? 3 to 5 minutes. I'm getting a lot of emails about like, can I add a focus? Can I do this? Can I add this? My answer is yes. However, your speech cannot be 8 minutes. And if you have added 3 or 4 focuses, but because you're trying to keep to the 5-minute time allotment, so you just go really vague and basic, that is not gonna reflect well on the rubric, okay? Remember, I say this a lot. It's not about more. It's about picking a few things and digging deeper into them. Okay. I don't want to know every single piece of information you researched. I want you to dig into those focuses, explain them in detail. All right. I'm going to go over the rubric in a second. Your speech must have a counter argument. And you have two options for this. You can either address the counter right in the beginning, like get it out of the way, or you can sandwich it in the middle of your speech. So make your point, have your counter, and then make your point. Again, on Wednesday, I'm going to go into more details about what this actually looks like. Then you also need to have evidence. You are required to have at least 2 legitimate resources, at least. And as I will talk about with the counter argument, you should absolutely have one in there as well. Okay. So 2 is like the lower end of it. Most of you will have somewhere between 3 and 4 sources though. I already talked about structure. Here's the other important part. You need to have 2 if you're in CP or 4 if you're in honors rhetorical devices. Now, for these rhetorical devices, you're not obviously going to say it in your speech, right? You're not going to be like, and that was an example of appeal to emotion. You're just going to write your speech. And then when you submit your final draft, you're actually going to highlight or annotate the parts of your speech that hit your literary devices. So for example, you'll highlight a portion that says, this was an example of appeal to authority, or this was an example of a testimonial. In that same vein, I'm getting a lot of people asking, can I use personal examples as evidence? The answer is no. You are more than likely or welcome to use a personal example as a hook, right? Like to explain like why this is important. And you can put multiple personal examples or examples of friends in your speech. I'm fine with that, but that does not count as your evidence. What makes a personal example even stronger is if you have a personal example and then you pair it with statistics, facts, and data that actually support it, okay? And I want to let you know that there is a chance that maybe you have a personal opinion and then you go and try and find research and you can't find it. If that's the case, maybe rethink your position or the way that you're arguing. All right. Ignore the calendar, right? Because this calendar is now garbage. Ta-da! Where should you find the real calendar? On my Canvas page. The other thing that I wanted to point out is the rubric, which I will also be posting online. Notice that we are looking for content of speech, style and structure, as well as your performance. Okay. I'll let you go through this, but there are a couple that I wanted to point out. Is that for mastery, you provide 2 or more, right? Like more than 2 sources of a variety of evidence. So you're not just like spitting out facts. Maybe you are also including a news report about something along those lines. You have to contain a specific call to action, okay? Something along the lines of like, my call to action is don't be racist. I mean, amazing words to live by, you guys, honestly. Remember that every single day, but not a specific enough call to action. How do you actually end racism? What's something that you can actually do? And I would really try and have your call to action be directed towards your audience, which are other high school students. Style and structure, obviously it needs to be well organized. Don't just like jump from fact to fact to fact to fact. That doesn't ever help. And then the last one that and of course you have to have rhetorical devices. Sorry, English. Rhetorical devices. And then your performance. You are allowed to use notes, but your performance needs to have a flow to it. And you shouldn't just be like looking at your notes and looking up, right? This is not consistent eye contact. This is you showing me your eyes and then looking right back down, okay? Especially you guys, if we're doing a recording, that means if you mess up, you can do another one. So if you're doing a recording, I am expecting there to be practice. I am expecting it to sound cohesive and well put together. I am expecting to see a masterful speed, especially knowing that you have had multiple opportunities to do this speech. You should be submitting the best recording. All right. That is really all I have for you today. So just a reminder to submit the form when you're done. Check back in with Mrs. Guy or Miss Bessling tomorrow for what an actual good speech looks like. And I will see you all later. Good day.